James Rickards, The New Case for Gold. Welcome to the summary of The New Case for Gold, where James Rickards debunks common misconceptions about gold and presents its unique characteristics that elevate its importance as an asset and insurance against financial risks. This summary explores the historical and chemical context that makes gold exceptional, examines gold's performance during inflation and deflation, and sheds light on countries steadily building their gold reserves, such as China and Russia. Delve into the relationship between gold and the monetary system, the role of gold in a digital world threatened by cyber attacks, and the potential impact of a return to a gold standard.
The misunderstanding of gold's value. Gold has been fiercely criticized and labeled as a barbarous relic by renowned economic experts such as Keynes, Krugman, and Greenspan. Despite this, gold remains a reliable and practical store of value due to its physical characteristics and proven success as a monetary system foundation. Keynes himself only condemned the gold standard as applied by Great Britain in the 1920s and 1930s. He initially supported the gold standard until World War I, when he argued that leaving it would strengthen the UK's credit rating, and he was right. Years later, he advised against returning to the gold standard at pre-war prices because it would lead to economic disaster, a warning that proved accurate. In 1944, Keynes suggested a new world currency backed by gold and other commodities at the Bretton Woods Conference, indicating his nuanced view of gold's value. Ultimately, people are fascinated by gold not just for its shininess but also because it represents money. The myth about gold supply. Gold supply is often criticized for being insufficient to support the global economy. However, this argument is not entirely accurate. The actual problem is the price of gold and the amount of gold required to back the money supply. From 1913 to 1965, the U.S. Federal Reserve maintained a 40% gold backing for the money supply, while in Britain from 1815 to 1914, the ratio was 20%. The gold supply has been more than enough to support growth, but not the inflationary growth that benefits certain ideologies. Arguments that gold supply cannot keep up with world growth are simply disguised calls for inflation, which leads to a transfer of wealth from taxpayers to the government. The gold supply is adequate for global currencies to be backed by a gold standard. The myths of gold. The Great Depression was not caused by gold, but by the Fed's monetary policy and government policies. Despite being criticized as a pile of rocks, gold played no role in constraining the money supply during the Depression. The crisis of confidence was due to consumers' reluctance to borrow and lenders' hesitance to lend, while businesses hoarded cash out of fear of unpredictable policies. The true value of gold. Gold is often criticized for having no yield, but this misses the point that it serves as a widely recognized medium of exchange, store of value, and unit of account just like paper money. However, unlike paper money held in banks, gold is risk-free, making it a reliable asset during financial upheavals when banks may not be able to redeem deposits. This is a quality that digital currencies like Bitcoin lack. As such, gold remains a valuable commodity that serves an important role in the global economy. Gold's value as money. Gold's value is rooted in its function as money despite objections to its intrinsic value theory. Economists have adopted the concept of subjective value, where the buyer's desire for an asset determines its price, dismissing intrinsic value. While gold may not possess the same material utility as copper or oil, its value lies in its function as a universally recognized monetary asset. The hidden value of gold. Despite the belittling of gold's importance by Greenspan and Bernanke, the U.S. government holds 8,000 metric tons of it at Fort Knox and other locations. The Fed's gold certificate account, valued at $11 billion on its balance sheet, has not been priced for the market since 1971 when gold cost $42 an ounce. If priced at recent gold values, the government's gold would be worth over $300 billion. This hidden asset underpins the entire financial system and the Fed's solvency, despite officials failing to acknowledge its significance. The power of gold. Gold has been historically valued for its chemical uniqueness and scarcity, making it the ideal medium of exchange. Among metals, gold's durability, beauty, and lack of industrial use make it stand out. Unlike the US dollar, gold is not digital and cannot be hacked or erased. Stockpiling gold is a way to opt out of the digitization of wealth and the unpredictability of currency volatility. The precious metal is in high demand, and many countries see it as a hedge against international monetary collapse. While some experts predict gold prices rising to $10,000 an ounce, a return to the gold standard could push prices to $50,000 an ounce. Gold as a hedge. The global financial system is becoming more complex, and central bankers' ability to navigate this complexity is increasingly uncertain. The Fed recurrently overlooks bubbles and misjudges systemic risk, relying on imperfect equilibrium models. Complexity theory provides a sophisticated and accurate alternative that central bankers should adopt. In such a volatile environment, gold offers a persuasive insurance policy against financial risk. It is a preferred asset in times of inflation and deflation, and it generally moves in the opposite direction of the dollar. In a currency collapse, having a physical stash of gold could be vital. However, in such a scenario, gold's value could still be affected because it is currently priced in dollars. Despite this risk, gold remains an attractive investment alternative for those who envision a financial crash. Investing in gold. Investing a maximum of 10% of your portfolio in gold is advised due to its price volatility, despite its resilience. The currency war, which led to the US printing money freely after 2009, made gold attractive to investors. The article suggests that predicting a crash of the international monetary system is impossible. In the face of criticism of gold's no intrinsic value, the author recommends complimenting the critic on their understanding of Marxian economics. The case against a cashless society. In the modern world, cashless systems such as credit cards and PayPal are ubiquitous. However, economists like Larry Summers and Kenneth Rogoff advocate for the elimination of paper money, citing its facilitation of crime and tax evasion. Despite these concerns, moving to a completely cashless system would have negative consequences for everyone. It would create the potential for negative interest rates, which would devalue stored funds over time. Therefore, holding on to cash provides a level of financial security. As such, a purely cashless society may not be the panacea that some make it out to be.
In this summary of The New Case for Gold, you have discovered the reasons why gold still holds a significant position in our financial world, despite critics' attempts to downplay its importance. Gold's unique features make it an essential asset to combat economic uncertainties and financial risks. Countries accumulating gold as a reserve asset highlight the strategic advantages it offers in times of crisis. The push for a cashless society and cybersecurity threats reinforce the necessity of safeguarding one's wealth through an asset like gold. We hope this understanding of gold's multifaceted role and enduring significance will guide your financial decisions in an ever-changing, complex world.